Wonderful. Let's begin today, shall we, my friends? How are you all doing? Hopefully it's a good day, good evening, good night, wherever you're at. Let's get to conjuring a little bit, shall we? Okay, so what is today's magic about? Well, I've got Althea, which is also known as marshmallow root. I've got storax, and I've got orchid oil instead of orchid flowers. So I get this from Papa Jim's Botanica. Great supplier for all things magical and such. When you need bulk herbs, hollow woods, things like that. That's when I'm not using my buddy Keith or Ann's shop for other supplies. So with this stuff, Storax is going to be on the list today too. This stuff causes true action without subterfuge. So if you need a direct route of application, Storax works really good for this stuff. And then I've got the orchid oil, which represents basically the will to live regardless of environment. Like if you've ever seen how an orchid grows in the Amazon or in the wild, they're not it's not a hardy plant, but it is a resilient motherfucker. It will grow on trees. It's just a weird plant. So we're going to do the storax root first, the storax bark first, so that way we have true action without any bullshit, right? And then we're going to do a little bit of Althea powder. And the nice thing about marshmallow root or Althea is that what it does is it causes manifestation. It is if you're going to do spirit conjuring and things like that, Althea would be the base ingredient that you want to use because it works good as a body for the spirits. And the thing is about the orchid oil is when you apply it, it's going to make a paste to the ingredients, but it helps it bond a little bit better when you're grinding them down. So it will be a little bit interesting today how we do this. But the goal with this particular blend is that when you have a path that you need to manifest, when you have actions that you have to figure out how to take, this stuff on the incense burner would be fantastic. But you want to mind your allergies because you don't want to use this stuff if you've got pregnancy, breastfeeding, You want to make sure that all your ingredients are not going to be contraindicated to you. So like these, I've used these ingredients for years. So I know that I'm relatively fine with what I'm up to. So just make sure that you don't fuck up and hurt yourself when it comes to trying to do witchcraft or trying to do herbal craft or whatever it is that you're attempting when it comes to your magic, when it comes to your ability to manipulate the environment in accordance with your will, right? And calling a spell is just meaning that by the dictionary definition, it is a powerful, irresistible force. So what you are doing is you are creating an irresistible force in your environment using things from your environment, herbs, plants, trees, that sort of thing. And so by creating this kind of a thing, it is witchcraft, but it isn't. It's an herbal craft. It's talking to Trevor, watching Trevor talk about it yesterday. Yeah, it is spellcraft, but it's the foundation of spellcraft. It's like the prerequisite stuff that you have to have before you start actually like getting into crazier shit. Like you could do ritual craft, you could do rite craft, like those are things that we'll get into over the next couple of years, like over the next year, right? So there's 15 weeks I've already planned for these spell a days, right? And so after that, what I'm planning to do is the ritual a day or the rite a day is the repeated actions that we take when it comes to magic. So that way the application of all 105 blends that we're making over the next 15 weeks can get put to use. So that way there is application for it. So that way you know how to combine these things. So that way you can think about how you would combine them yourself. Like it's a spell with me. Like you do this stuff with me. You get your ingredients. You do these things. You create these things. It's like there's going to be. I'm working on a little workbook too. It's going to be great. I've got all of it typed up, and I'm just formatting it right now. So that's one of the things that I'll have out by the end of tomorrow, hopefully, is a workbook that you guys could get. So that way you can follow along and do these spells a day and you could go live about it in the Facebook group, and you could talk about what you're up to and everything like that. But that way we get a community interaction going. You know, it's all about having a lot of fun with this stuff, but also connecting to others. It's the network, right? It's the community. It's the people that we do this stuff with, not just the spirits and not just the elements, not just the stuff in a isolated venue alone, right? This is magic for connecting with others that are using plants and folklore and traditional crafts such as these to make their incense, to make their prayer incense, to have something to take to a Renaissance fair or things like that. And one of the things I always like to do when I go like to a Ren fair and stuff would be to make a bunch of spell blends and then label them and then give them to the vendors that I like their stuff. Or if I'm going to buy stuff from the vendors, I'll give them a little vial of that stuff too. It's really a fun way to go because that's one of those like witch only things that tends to happen is like you share your stuff, but then you give them stuff that they can actually use, It's not just about the money for the tangible goods and trades. It's about having that little something extra, right? And that's where this stuff gets really fun is because like with the orchid, it's that extra life. It's that extra, just that extra oomph that you wouldn't expect life to be able to go like that. You wouldn't expect application and opportunity to go like that. And I'm going to add a little bit more of this. The way that it comes about, it's a better expression of power. It's a better expression of your connection to nature in this way. So again, it's not about your trying to be something that you're not. It's about connecting to exactly what you are and connecting to who you are and why you are and what it is you want to do as a result of that. So that way you make friends in your environment. You make friends with the spirits of the trees. You make friends with the spirits of the land, right? And so when you need to do magic or you need to do something that's going to change the environment, right? Then you call on your friends for help, right? We're not calling on demons and devils. No, we're calling on friends that we have a relationship with. Plants that you raise, those are spirits that are friends, right? All the plants that I've been carrying around for years, all the stuff that I've been working with, right? It's honoring the spirit of the storax tree or the althea tree or the marshmallow root, as it were, the orchids and things like that. It's not about power and the application of it for negative uses. It's about creating connection to your environment, creating a better environment, creating a network of people that you can do stuff with so that way you have conversations, right? And that's what this is about. It's about the direct roads of unexpected forms of life which cause manifestation, right? So you've got the storax, you've got the orchid, and you've got the marshmallow root. This is going to be one of those things where if you need to kick it up a notch, right? I forget which whatever it was, like bam, like kick it up a notch, like for the food guy. But whatever, it's that kind of thing that you want to be able to do, and this is a blend that will help you do that. So again, that's marshmallow root, that's storax, and that's orchid. And I use the orchid oil from Papa Jim's. So anyway, stay safe, my friends. Mind your allergies. Happy conjuring, and I will see you tomorrow.